What's up guys, Terry here for Rev3 Games, and Torchlight II is finally upon us. We've been waiting years for this game to come out, and now that it has, you're probably wondering how it stacks up to some of the other ones out there. Well, watch my review to find out. If you've played the original Torchlight, or more recently Diablo III, then congratulations, you're already familiar with Torchlight II. With its chestfuls of loot, increasingly powerful weapons, and seemingly endless dungeons to explore, it's a game that few can deny is fun, and most would agree is maddeningly addictive. It's a simple concept at its core. Click on a monster, pick up some loot. Click on a group of monsters, pick up a lot of loot. Follow that up with 5 minutes of inventory management, and you've got the modern-day action RPG. Torchlight II doesn't attempt to stray from that formula at all, but it does employ enough improvements to at least feel fresh. As with most games of this kind, the story is not the main focus here. The plot essentially boils down to the alchemist is bad and you need to kill him.
Should he succeed, the devastation will be unimaginable.
You'll achieve this through a series of quests similar to what you'd find in other RPGs, things like kill him or fetch this, with a smattering of side missions mixed in that don't require much effort beyond what you're already doing. The quest may not be anything groundbreaking, but let's face it, it's all just a means to loot anyway. Players can choose from 4 character classes, including the melee-heavy engineer, the magic-focused ember mage, the outlander, a ranged weapons expert, and the berserker, whose power is derived from animal spirits. I played as an engineer, which offers some pretty interesting abilities. For example, I can throw out a gunbot or tiny robotic spiders to attack my enemies, which is both effective and cute. Players also have a customizable pet, which can deal a pretty decent amount of damage on top of what you already do. The game is divided into 3 acts, each with its own unique environment that's probably way more colorful than anything you've seen in a dungeon crawler lately. And to go along with that is a wide array of new enemy types, ranging from tentacles to mushroom caps to cockroaches, which, I'm not gonna lie, scared me a little bit. Cockroaches are pretty scary. Of course, one of the biggest changes that's been made is to the skill system, which is structured less like a tree now and more like a bank. Rather than having to unlock certain skills before you can use others, you're free to experiment with whatever you'd like. The only real limitation is your character's level. Players choose from a set of 30 skills, both active and passive, and each skill is further subdivided into tiers. Gather enough points to reach a tier, and you'll confer a special bonus for that skill. On top of that, they've added a charge bar for every player, which fills up when you kill things, and then dispenses a powerful bonus when fully charged. It's a neat system all in all, and the ability to assign skill points wherever you want is definitely a step up from your typical RPG. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of room for mistakes, since the game only allows you to respec your last 3 skill points. Several of the skills are also tied to specific weapon types, so if, for instance, you decide to change from pole arms to maces later in the game, as I did, you end up nullifying a lot of those skills you've already invested points in. Because of that, I recommend putting as many points as you can into your charge bar skills, since you know for sure those will be effective until the very end of the game. Of course, there are ways to continually adapt your character beyond class and skills. In addition to a skill point, leveling up also grants you 5 stat points to spend in one of 4 attributes. How you choose to allocate those points will affect your overall damage output, and if you plan far enough ahead, you can bypass level requirements for weapons and armor and end up wielding something way more powerful than what your current level would usually allow. As it happens, the sheer amount of loot in the game means you're always in search of that slightly better weapon, and once your backpack is full, you can travel to and from town easily using waypoints. Every act in the game has its own city hub where you can buy and sell things, or transmute items you no longer need to create better ones. You can also enchant weapons and armor or socket them with gems to make them more powerful, and once in a while you'll even find an augmented weapon which upgrades itself after you kill a certain number of creatures. Even with the massive amounts of loot though, inventory management is rarely overwhelming, and that's due in part to the menu system, which has been completely streamlined and can now be sorted with the simple click of a button. If you're mid-quest and don't want to travel back to the city to sell your stuff, you can always send your pet into town for you, and he'll sell your items and bring back any basic new ones that you need. Of course, hands down the biggest improvement to Torchlight II is the inclusion of multiplayer, which was sorely missing from the first one. This type of game does lend itself particularly well to playing with friends, and here you'll be able to co-op with up to 6 of them. The difficulty scales up as more people join the game, and loot is individually allocated, so you never have to fight over a rare item. It may not be as feature-friendly as Diablo III's multiplayer, but hey, at least it works. Expect to get a good 20 to 25 hours out of the campaign, with plenty of reasons to come back for more. Beating the game will earn you the option to purchase dungeon maps so you can keep clicking mindlessly for hours on end, or you can try out a different character class with the New Game Plus mode. Play by yourself, play with friends, it's tons of fun either way, and at a third of the price of Diablo III, it's really a no-brainer. We say buy it. So that's Torchlight 2. If you haven't picked this one up yet, you should definitely do that. It's $20 on Steam right now, PC only, but there should be a Mac version coming within the next few months. And if you have picked it up, then by all means, let us know what you think of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.